guys, I'm Mike Ritter. I'm new here to RBD Ventures and I want to learn more about real estate investing. So I brought an expert with me, Roger Faulkner, to this.
Hello,
quite
everybody.
frankly, it's a pretty disgusting house out here in Spring Valley. But you know, when you guys are all done with it, it's not going to look very disgusting. It's going to look great. I'm new to this whole game, and I want to know why would you want to buy a house like this?
Right. Well, the biggest thing when you're looking at houses, Mike, obviously, is to look past what you see. But you have to look past the junk, the clutter, and you have to look at what you actually have as far as a house itself. But the biggest thing we're looking for the house itself is it integral. You know, is how the bones of the house. You know, how's the structure of the house. Obviously, if it's falling down, then you don't have a house. You just have a plot of land. Then you make your numbers accordingly. Which there's numbers for that too, right? But the biggest thing right here, even though all of this looks very junky and everything, we actually have a good, strong foundation of a house. You know, so the bones of the house are very good. Other than that, you know, we're looking just like we look at any house. We're looking at how many bedrooms does it have, how many bathrooms, how many square footage does it have, and because you're looking at not what as is, you're going to look at the future potential of the house. And I always tell people that you never compare what you have now with what is going to be in the future. You have to visualize the future. That way you can compare it apples to apples. So we can take this floor plan of this house with the bathrooms and bedrooms, you know, and see what other houses in the area are going to sell for that are in very nice condition that we're going to make this house. So we're looking at the future. So when you're looking at a house.
So this neighborhood, Spring Valley. This is a over 2,000 square foot home. 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. What is it?
Correct. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. But the good thing, the tax records on this house. This is one of those sneakies that you have to watch out for because tax records are notoriously wrong. But on this one it says 2-1, but we have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath that is permitted. So this is a way bonus over what everybody thinks it is. So it's kind of, we can sneak in there and we have more of a house than anybody even thought we had. So we got a permitted 4-bedroom, 2-bath in Spring Valley. Spring Valley itself in general is a great neighborhood. There's a lot of VA buyers in this neighborhood for the military here in San Diego. They love it because me personally, I'm from the Midwest, so I know kind of what they look for. When they're out shopping around in San Diego, they're looking a lot of times for, you know, a good sized property that they have some, you know, elbow room and the same thing like you would have back on the, you know, the East Coast and the Midwest. So this property is actually a pretty sizable lot.
It's like a third of an acre, right?
Right. So that being said, you know, they can come here, they're going to have kids, it's going to be a good family. They got plenty of bedrooms for the kids. They're going to have plenty of lot here for their kids to run around. And so those are all things that you have to look for. Who's your end buyer for this property? So knowing this area, knowing your farm area is always key to that. That way you can match your house to your buyer and see if it's conducive to that neighborhood.
Okay. Why this house? You know, you talked about it a little bit. The shape of it right now, the condition of it's not very good.
Right.
Obviously, when it's all said and done, it's going to be in good shape.
Oh yes, it's going to be in perfect shape.
It's going to be in perfect shape. But for someone that's investing, why this house? Why would this be a good potential investment?
Well, at the end of the day, you know, you have to take emotions out of it, Mike. You have to always do it by the numbers. So what we're looking at, obviously, like I told you, is the house itself, the lot itself, and it's got all the things you really need. You need to have, you know, for a family, you're going to need at least 3-2, at least 1,200 square feet. So we got those things in place already. You know, we got a nice side yard, like I said. So these are all features that people are going to want when they have a family in this area of town. And so we got all that in this house. We got it at the right numbers. So we're buying it at price. So even though we have all this fix up to do, which is quite extensive in this house, we got it the numbers are going to make sense to do that. And for the holding time that we're going to have to hold it to do all that work. So those all be said. And the thing that's the capper for this house above and beyond other houses is out this way, we have a view all the way to the ocean. So this is the thing, the views, you know, just appraisal wise can go anywhere from 15 to 25,000 just for a view. So for this house, the numbers work without the view. The view's the capper is going to be a selling feature for this house, and people are just going to love it. They're going to eat it up. So you got to look at all these aspects of the house.
So you did talk about numbers.
Yes.
What did you purchase this
So
house
we're
for?
buying this house at $125,000.
Okay.
We're estimating right now gross numbers, and obviously Dustin and Ruben and his team are working on fine-tune those numbers, putting $100,000 in this house. So that puts us in at $225,000, not counting holding costs and financing and other things, right? So at $225,000, the resale value in this house is at least $325,000 on the minimum. I'm estimating it's going like $350,000, and so our gross profit could be up to $100,000 on this house. But on the very low side, it should be like $60,000, $70,000. So that's a low side.
And on that type of project, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. How long of a rehab process is that going to be?
So what's going on in this house, it really depends on our exit strategy. We're looking at a couple of different scenarios. As is, we have a 2,000 square foot house, but we want to add some extra features to be able to capture that high end. And so we're thinking about adding a garage, which is probably pretty necessary. because they built out the garage and got it permitted, so we might add an additional garage to that. And on top of that, we're talking about putting a deck so we can capture that view. And that's really going to capture the high end of the market if we do that. That's going to add a couple more weeks' time, construction permitting. So a heavy project like this is going to be minimum 6 weeks. We throw in permitting and things like that, you're probably talking 2 months. So you have to definitely calculate those holding costs into that.
So maybe 2 months, you say, an estimated, on the low side, your profit is $60,000.
Right.
That's in 2 months.
Right.
It seems like a pretty good turnaround.
That's not bad, it's not bad. That's kind of why we do this business for, is to try to make those kind of numbers work.
All right, so Roger, obviously we got a 3-day workshop coming up at the end of July.
That's correct.
3-day intensive rehab workshop. You're going to be learning all about projects like this house. I mean, we might even go to this house on the bus tour. I don't know.
I think we probably will.
You probably will. So actually, if you guys see this house right now, it's not in great shape, but in a few weeks, you come and check it out on a 3-day workshop. Might look a lot different.
You won't recognize it for sure.
You won't recognize it.
You won't know it's the same house if you look at the videos only. Yeah.
Exactly. So Roger, why don't you tell me a little bit about what's going to be?
Sure, Mike. Like you said, obviously we have the 3-day event, but that one's great because it's going to be very intensive for something. I would never personally, when I got in this business, try to tackle a job like this. This is definitely not for the faint of heart. It's not for the beginner. This is for the guys that have been around for a while. But I personally partnered up with a contractor when I started this business. My partner Dustin's great, as you guys know, and he's going to be teaching the bulk of this 3-day event because it's really focused on the renovation segment of our business. We had a 2-day event last year where we talked about the business as a whole. We're breaking that up. This event's about the renovation portion. Later in the year we'll probably have another one about acquisitions and marketing. But to learn what you don't know, which is what this 3-day event is going to be about, you need to be there for that because that's going to tell you at least what you don't know. And then you can be able to find the qualified contractors and the people you need to take on a project like this. And so definitely I recommend it. I wouldn't have done this business without doing something like that, without getting the proper training, and I recommend everybody else do the same thing so you don't get hurt in a market like this.
Yeah, I mean, I know. If this is my first time investing, I would have no idea how to go in.
You would probably just run. You wouldn't even be able to see that there's possibilities of what's going on
exactly.
there.
That's why we came out here today.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know I'm going to be at the event. I hope that we can come back here and maybe check it out, how it looks in a few weeks. And I'm anxious to see this final product. I'm going to be at the event. You're going to be at the event.
That's it.
It's an RBD event, 3-day workshop, July 27th through the 29th of July at the Crown Plaza Hotel. We'll see you there.
Awesome. See you there.